everyone, I'm NRK, aka Neil Kemp, and this is my partner in crime, Michael Leeson, over in Lisbon. Say hello, mate.
Hello, everybody. Live and kicking from Lisbon. What's the story, mate?
All good, mate, all good. Big A up from Yorkshire. So we are on electronic, and you've just joined us for the first episode in our videocast series called On Point, where we talk about a lot of the topics that are current in the electronic dance music world. So this week, we're going to be talking about a topic that's been in the news over the last month or so, or 2 months, but they have been around for quite some time. These things called NFTs. Now, I didn't know much about them before, and I still don't know loads about them, to be fair, which is why my good friend Michael is here to talk to us about it and bring us up to speed a little bit, because there is a lot of videos out there that trying to explain it, but Michael feels that we can do it maybe a little bit better and a little bit more concise, clearer for you to understand. Okay, so, dude, what's an NFT?
Well, it's a very good question, mate. And you're right about. I mean, there is already some content out there, but as we focus on electronic music industry, I feel like we could do it a little bit more tailored towards electronic music brands. So that's why we're here. So NFT short, it stands for a non-fungible token, which is just a fancy word for non-replaceable. It's the first time I heard about it as well, about fungible. It's still difficult to explain what it is exactly. So, but summarized, you can say, for example, a cryptocurrency is a fungible token. It means like it's interchangeable. You can change one Bitcoin for another Bitcoin. With an NFT, it's different. You can change an NFT for another NFT because each NFT is unique. It's a unique item. You can't, like, if you buy an NFT and I buy an NFT, we can change each NFT with each other. But if you have a Bitcoin and I have a Bitcoin, we can change that Bitcoin with each other. So that's why an NFT, it's a non-fungible token. So it's non-replaceable. Yeah.
Right. Still sounds super complicated, dude.
Kind of it. I know. Yeah.
So what do you use it for?
Well, I'd say the main thing is, of course, because they're digital collectibles, that's probably the best way to explain what they are. It's a new type of digital limited edition asset that popped up in around 2017. So before, people would get like Pokemon cards or even like the baseball cards, in the past, or even like my great parents would collect the old stamps, But the main difference is that these limited edition digital assets have unique traceable code linked to it. And this can be verified on the blockchain publicly by everyone. Yeah.
Blockchain.
That's it, mate.
My favorite topic. I know nothing about it. So the blockchain is what makes it unique, right?
That's it. Yeah. But it's the blockchain. It's the block of change. The blockchain. The blockchain. But that's why it's unique. Of course, the blockchain makes it unique. Why? Because each NFT is unique on its own already, and because of the blockchain, you can prove the ownership of these assets. So, blockchain. Let's say it's a digital ledger, similar to what's used for the networks like Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrencies. The blockchain has digitalized a lot of things in the past. So it has also revolutionized collectibles, as we can see here with NFTs now. And for sure, the coronavirus played a big role in it. So last year, the total value of NFTs was around 250 million. And the first quarter of 2021, the sales topped an incredible 2 billion, which is mental. Like it's around 20 times more than the first quarter in 2020. So it's definitely booming. Yeah. Private sales are not included in that amount. So it's actually probably 2.3 or 2.4 billion already just in 3 months. Yeah. That's incredible.
It's crazy money these days. All right. So what does it even mean? Because I hear a lot about blockchain. Like I said,
yeah.
My least favorite subject because I just don't grasp the concept. Can you help a brother out, please?
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit confusing in the beginning. I can understand for most people, because just the concept of blockchain, even the word itself, people are not really known with it. It's of course, it's a new technology, and I would definitely say it's one of the biggest innovations of the 21st century. So it also had a ripple effect on various industries, like not just the music industry. So I mean, the best way to explain what is a blockchain is like it's a secured chain of blocks where nobody could tamper with the timestamps on the data. So yeah, in simpler terms, you can say that the information that is locked on these chains of blocks could not be altered with afterwards. So making it very transparent for everybody. Another way maybe to explain it, you could say it's a P2P, so a peer-to-peer network running on top of the internet. And it actually dates from around 1991. Some fella invented it then. I can't remember his name. But the popularity of it increased with the rise of Bitcoin around 2008, thanks to the founder of Bitcoin, which is called Satoshi Nakamoto, who is believed to be the brain behind Bitcoin. Nobody really knows if that's his real name. It could be a group of developers. It could be Elon Musk, like nobody knows yet at this stage. Hopefully in a few years we know. But yeah, that's like a short introduction about what the blockchain is. But of course, there's lots of videos on YouTube.
That's like an electronic way of transferring data between two parties, right?
It is. And it's a way to actually be sure that nothing can be altered with afterwards. So for example, if I sell something to you for $10 and you sell it for $1,000, it will always be visible on the blockchain, because the blocks are built on each other, on top of each other, and you can't really go back to change any info. So it's very transparent for everybody. Yeah.
Ding, light bulb moment. I think I just had an aha moment. Wow. You do learn something new every day. Okay.
That's it, mate.
Cool. So what is it that NFTs are doing for the music industry? Because more and more artists seem to be getting involved. Why is that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, especially now, 2021, we see a boom, lots of artists getting involved. 2020 as well, but now it's like there's a big difference. So we see more mainstream artists getting involved, and also the smaller ones. So I mean, you can say that the most valuable thing here for anyone getting involved with NFTs, it's the proof of ownership, which is very unique. This is recorded on the blockchain and cannot be changed afterwards, like I said before. So even when an NFT is sold for about 10 times, you can still see the original creator. So if I created an NFT and I sold it to you, and you sold it to your mom, and she sold it to her cousin, and so forth, it can be sold 100 times. Everybody will always see that I was the creator of the NFT. I'm not sure your mom would be buying NFTs, but you never know. Oh, Neil, can you help me out a bit?
More famous than me, mate. Put it that way.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like, the great thing is, artists, they keep getting royalties, which is something very unique, So every time the NFT is sold, the artist, the original creator, let's say, will get 5% royalties on every sale. And first, if the sale is $100, you get 5% of that. But if it's sold later for $1 million, the artist will get 5% royalties on $1 million. And I'd say that's pretty unique. I mean, and also revolutionary. I mean, I can't remember a time in the past where artists were paid out that way. And it also keeps incentivizing the artist, of course, which is something that most artists gonna love. Yeah,
it is. What I realized is it's the since the digital revolution back in the early 2000s, when music sales start to plummet, and this is almost like it's a way of the artist bouncing back to, in a way, reclaim some of that lost earnings from all the music that they lost money on over the many years. Is that right? Is that a fair thing to posit?
Yeah, mate, definitely 100%. So, otherwise, like, we have intermediaries involved there, like Spotify, iTunes, or just streaming platforms, and they would take like the biggest chunk of the earnings actually from an artist. I mean, you need to have millions of streams in order to make something on Spotify. This is a different way, because, if you sell an NFT, you get 100% of the sales from the NFT. Apart from the fees you have to pay to mint the NFT, it's called minting, creating the NFT, actually locking it on the blockchain, or any collaborators that are involved. but otherwise you get 100% of the earnings of the NFT, which is quite unique. So, we know these days, anything that artist creates, they have to use an intermediary or another platform to sell whatever they have created, whereby they probably lose like 90% of the earnings. And like you say, this is a great way to come back, be in contact with the fans immediately, have nobody else in the middle there. So it's a great way to pick up on lost earnings, definitely, especially during those like Corona times where, there's no more gigs, artists are selling less songs because of course artists are making less money. So obviously they will buy less tracks. So it's a big game changer, I'd say.
Boom. Cool. Well, you know what? That's brilliant. The creators of this must be stoked with this technology, but who's in charge of it all? By any chance? Do you know?
Well, I mean, nobody's in charge of it, so that's the great thing about NFTs. So of course, you're using a platform like Super Rare, Rarible, Mintable. There's different platforms that you can use. So as an artist, if you create an NFT, you have to mint the NFT, you publish it on a platform, and you sell the NFT. So there's not really anyone in charge of it. Like I was saying before, if you want to stream your music, you have iTunes, you have Spotify, or any other streaming platform. They are actually in charge of selling your music. And with an NFT, it's different because you're in charge of it. You're using a platform to sell it, which is true. But like there's nobody else in charge of it. So that's also one of the most revolutionary things.
The ownership lies with you completely.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it sort of sounds really exciting. I'm sure lots of artists will probably jump on board. But all right. So what exactly can you put on an NFT?
Mate, it's just literally anything. I mean, it's still early days for NFTs. So most brands or anyone getting involved with NFTs or researching the possibilities. So it could be digital art or it could be video, it could be physical benefits as well, tickets to the club, backstage passes or something. One example could be the nightlife brand Abode and their Thursday night events in Amnesia. Let's say if they would create NFTs, each NFT could contain a unique track made by their artist that has never been published before. Because the main goal here is, of course, we're using something exclusive, limited, that has not been published before. Otherwise, it doesn't create any value. So you have the track on the NFT, and then, of course, something visual needs to be on the NFT. Okay. Visible and visual, kind of the same. But
we invented a new word on point, guys.
Oh my God! Blame my Belgian accent. I am from Belgium. But the visual part is really important with the NFTs, of course, and there's different options here. One example could be they link old footage from the first Abode events in Amnesia. Or they could also just use some footage from one of the main artists in the backstage saying something, but it has to be something visual. And another thing is they could link something physical to it. So, for example, if you buy this NFT, you also get VIP passes all your life. So that means one NFT contains a unique track, it contains something visual, and it also has something physical to it, which is quite unique. I can't remember something in the past like that. So, it's a limited edition collectible, but it also has something physical connected to it. And, people in the music industry would love to have this. I mean, this is just one example, but who wouldn't want to own such an NFT,
Especially the visual ones. That's a great example, mate.
It is, yeah.
I'm sure it will clarify the possibilities and show electronic music brands the potential. That Abode, they're a big brand anyway.
They are, yeah, definitely.
What about smaller brands and smaller artists?
Of course. I use this example because most people know the nightlife brand and the labels. So, but that's a great thing about NFTs. Actually, everybody can capitalize on it because in the end, you just need a few fans who see the value in the NFT and who are willing to pay for it. So even if it's a big brand, if it's a smaller brand, you know, you just need a few fans, because most of the time you just create a few NFTs, maybe 3, maximum to 5 if it's a collection, sometimes even just 1 if it's a one-on-one collection. Yeah. So even smaller brands can capitalize on it. If they sell the NFT at a reasonable price, of course, you have to look at the pricing and everything. So like proper research needs to be done. And but yeah, you just need one fan who's hyped by the NFT and who loves it enough and who sees the value of it in order to buy it, actually. Yeah.
All right. Well, COVID, it's been proper rough on the industry, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been made for sure. Yeah.
Completely flattened it, cutting off artists from all their income, basically. So
yeah,
it's the savior.
Really bad, actually.
It's the savior from the pandemic.
Well, I'd say it's a bit of a savior, but I wouldn't call it the savior, you know. But it does give brands the potential to capitalize on the new technology that connects them directly with their fans. Like we were talking about before, there's no middleman. You know, you get a bigger chunk of revenue compared to if you sell your music on streaming platforms or anywhere else. And the great thing also, it's a way to collaborate with visual artists and other like-minded people, because most of the time, a few people are involved to create one NFT. So I'm working on a few NFTs now for an artist in Ibiza, and we're a team of 4 people, and everybody's doing something different. And it's very cool because everybody's doing something unique. We all work together and you create an NFT. So it's pretty unique, and it also helps people to collaborate more rather than an artist just producing the track, for example. And also great times for visual artists, you know, because they're kind of crucial here and they add value to the NFT. But
give me ideas, mate. It's giving me ideas.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, if that's the goal of the video, of course, you know. I mean, it's not like all the potential, all the possibilities in one video, but the idea is to really make people warm about it and to give them some ideas to get started. So but you don't always need a visual artist, you know. Like one example, Carl Cox, which of course everybody knows, he tokenized some of his new music on an NFT. I think it was last month or 2 months ago. And he actually, the footage he used on the NFT, it's a live recording from him. And he sold like 2 NFTs, if I'm correct, with exclusive music and some exclusive footage as well of him in the live recording. So it was sold very fast. It was sold through bidding. Lots of NFTs are sold through bidding. So, you know, you start the price and then people pay more, bid more. And then, of course, the highest bidder at the end of the auction.
It's like a specific platform for selling NFTs on.
Yeah, mate. There's a few of them, like around 10 of them probably, that you can use. Then you have other artists as well that create their private platform, you know, their own website, let's say, and they do the bidding on their own websites, because of course the platform will take a small fee on it. But yeah, it's nothing compared to like Spotify or iTunes, whatever, who take 90% of the earnings, you know.
God bless. All right. So I've seen, we've seen NFTs go for millions, haven't we? And
yeah.
From the recent news, you know, going up into the billion. Are we not in a bubble that could explode any moment? You know, like cryptocurrencies have inflated and then exploded and then inflated again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's new technology, you know. New technology is always called a bubble by the media in the beginning, just like credit cards were called a bubble. E-commerce was called a bubble. Like cryptocurrencies were called a bubble. But
internet was called a bubble, wasn't it?
Who?
The internet was called a bubble.
The internet as well. I mean, all those things were called a bubble in the beginning because, you know, when there's a new technology, people are a bit insecure about it because it's something they don't know, and the unknown always create insecurities. But of course, the people who jump on it on time, they will benefit from it, and most of the time they benefit greatly. Like, you know, when they were saying cryptocurrencies were a bubble, I mean, if you invested 10 years ago, by this time you probably are pretty rich, you know. So
you know, man, I wish I'd kept hold of mine from about 3 years ago, because like I once it started dropping and it was just about to drop below what I'd invested into it, I was just like and knee jerked and just got rid of it all.
Yeah.
I didn't lose any, but I've recently done an invest, and it's doing nicely, all right. And in fact, it's just been going up, creeping up a bit more.
Yeah.
Last week or so. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
So the key is just
nice one,
ride it through, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like it's risky, and also it's heavy on the mind, because it's a bit of a mind game as well. So especially when it goes below your initial investment, most people start to panic and they sell, which is actually it's one of the worst mistakes you can make, because for sure it's going to go up again. Of course, if you need the money at that time, you sell it because you need the money for some reason. But if you just keep the coins on there most of the time, it will go up again. So I think the most expensive NFT sold so far was by Beeple, and it was sold for $69 million. So that's an insane amount just for one single NFT, one image, actually. I mean, it's a nice image, but still, this guy Beeple, he creates great artwork. Like, he did one from Elon Musk as well, where he's sitting on a Doge, because he's promoting Dogecoin, which is also like an ICO cryptocurrency. Okay. So mate, like it's a great artist, but still like 69 million, it doesn't make any sense. So to answer your question, are we in a bubble? We probably are. So would recommend people to be very careful whatever you pay for an NFT, because any moment it could go down. Just use your head and don't use any money that you can't miss or you can't lose in the first place. That's a good advice, because you never know what can happen, and possibly it will go down at some stage. But in the end, they're digital collectibles. They keep their value, and the value goes up most of the time. So
okay,
it's still a great investment, I'd say.
Okay, so insane amounts of money, mate. What do you think about the idea about because both of us are linked and work for Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, and we're all about trying to point the dance music industry in the direction of just doing a little bit more for charitable causes, because it's a big multi-million or billion-dollar industry, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
So, do you think these amounts of money would help charitable causes, wouldn't it? If some of them, even if it was just like a tiny little percentage, would be donated to a charitable cause. Are any artists doing that? Yeah.
There's a few artists doing it. Like the last one I read, I think, was Afex Twin. He sold one NFT. I mean, actually, a few NFTs for about 72 Ethereums, which was about I think 125K at that time in dollars.
Okay.
And so he mentioned that he will donate some of the raised funds to environmental initiatives and a charity on planting trees and donating to permaculture projects. And he'll be setting up a few things himself. So like you said, mate, it's wonderful, because let's say if you sell an NFT for 60 million, even just donating 1% of that money to a charity would be fantastic for charities, because most charities have to work really hard and actually fight to raise so much money, and they can't even raise it in 1 year, like 1% of 69 million. So it's a great way for brands to connect also with their local culture again, to check where the money is needed, and also like their personal interest. Some people would be more interested in supporting maybe some communities in Africa, helping them provide clean drinking water, like the charity is doing. So there's a few options there. So it's definitely a great way, for artists to give something back. Of course, I understand if you sell an NFT for 150 euro, it's different. But for the bigger artists here, they definitely should feel the pressure to give something back to charities or whatever, and not keep all the money, because who the hell needs like 60 million for one NFT? It doesn't make any sense, So a lot of good things can be done with the NFTs. Yeah.
It should be, definitely. It's food for thought, mate. Yeah. Definitely food for thought. That.
What's the difference? Like, I buy 10 Lamborghinis or I buy 9 Lamborghinis, and I donate the cost of one Lamborghini to the charity. Like, that's going to make a big difference, is it?
I suppose it makes sense.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Okay, well, all we can do is try. All right, well, that's a nice little seed we've planted there. I feel a little bit more enlightened about NFTs now. Final thoughts on it?
Well, I'd say it's a digital collectible. Brands need to see it that way. If they have unique content from the past, like let's say footage from their first event, 30 years old, or an old cassette, let's say nightclub in Belgium, they have an old cassette from 30 years old, which nobody has. This is all unique content. So it's great for brands to just like get on board, you know, do something with the old content they have, create an NFT, connect with their fans again, especially during these days when everybody's at home. And of course, more people are on the computer. So they also have a higher attention span. Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't have it, but it's like, it's good to educate yourself on it and, you know, work with a few specialists on the field, of course, because it is a new technology. So it is important to work with people that know what they talk about. And but that's it, mate. You know, it's great technology. It's revolutionary. Digital collectibles. Don't think it is a bubble, but still it's a great way to capitalize on it. So just don't ignore NFTs because people will regret in a few years if they do. Yeah.
Don't ignore the NFT.
Don't ignore the non-fungible tokens.
I'm just a head now. I'm just a head.
I see that, people.
All right, nice one, mate. That was brilliant, and I do feel a little bit more up to speed about NFTs. Thank you.
Good to hear that, mate.
Yeah. So, guys out there, I hope you took something from this little chat we've had, and I hope that enlightened you guys about the NFTs. If you want to know more about NFTs, or if you're interested in finding out how to get one created, then you can get in touch with us at this email address below my finger here. And we are just launching on Electronic as well, and you can follow us on all these different social media platforms. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, get us followed because we're going to be doing more of these. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll just say ciao for now.
That's it. Take care, Mr. NRK. See you next time, worlds. This is on Electronic. Ciao.
Cool. In a bit.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hey up, everyone. I'm NRK.